Hey guys, I am back with a sweater on. Yeah, I decided to put on a sweater and I even changed my shirt. Ooh. I actually haven't been changing my shirts, but I mean, I have a green shirt on now instead of the white shirt I've been wearing. Not the white shirt, but the white shirts I've been wearing for the past couple of days because I have like 3 pairs of white shirts and it looked like I know it, I realize it kind of looks like that I'm wearing the same shirt in every video, but it's not true, I swear. Okay, that being said, this is a video about the 5 horror books I want to finish by the end of the year. This one is different because it's horror. And to be honest, I know I'm probably not going to be able to get to most of these books. Science fiction as well. I don't think I'm going to finish all those books, but they're books that I really want to finish. So yeah, I want to finish them by the end of the year, but I don't expect to finish them all. So it's just a way to keep me, get me focus on what I want to read, because I have to remember there's these books out there that I really want to read, and there's not that much time. And there's one book I don't have in my pile right now, and I really want to finish it or read it. I started it, but I didn't. I got like a little bit away, and I've got focused on something else. So, but that is what's the book's name? It's by my friend, and I can't remember what the name of the book is. I have it somewhere in my pile over there, in my TBR pile. It's slipping my mind what it's called, but yeah, it's over there. But I forgot it, and I wanted to mention it, but now I can't even remember the name of the book. So, sorry. But this just hop right into the books that I want to read by the end of the year, or before the year ends. And the first book I want to finish is Bad Brains by Kathy Koja. As you can see, I made it to chapter 7 at 207 pages. And I love this book. I don't know why I keep having trouble starting back, like hopping back into it, because I took a break from it to read something else. And then ever since I took that break, I haven't been able to really get into this book. So I've been struggling, trying to get back into this book. I'm like 207 pages into this book, and I haven't even reached the synopsis yet. So I guess maybe it's a little bit of a daunting task because I still haven't really gotten to where the book starts, But I'm really digging this book a lot, and I really want to hop back into it soon, sooner rather than later, because, Kathy Koja is an amazing writer, and she did an amazing job with this book. I want to read this book. I keep telling myself I'm going to read this book, and I don't. So I'm really going to focus on trying to finish this book. So after I read Jinn by Graham Masterton, if I'm still not in that Lovecraftian mood, then I'm going to read Cassandra Caw, which I don't have on this list, but those are some books that I would like to finish by the end of the year too. But they're short books, so I didn't really put them on the list because they're so short. I have a shorter book on this list, so that's a little hypocritical, I guess. But I just didn't put the Cassandra Caw books on this list because I intend to read it right away. So, but this book I don't intend to read right away, but I need to read right away. So, as soon as I'm out of this Lovecraft phase or craze or stage of my life, I'm going to hop right back into Bad Brains by Kathy Koja. It's a good book. I don't know why I strayed away from it, so far away from it, but I did. So that is the first book. There's no there's no order of these books. They're just books that I want to read before the end of the year. I think I did a list just like this before, but this is, I guess, a newly updated list. Some of these books probably already have made the list, but these are just, some books that I really want to read. And the next book is not my best friend, but my friend's book, The Sound of Broken Ribs by Edward Lorne. And he signed it for me. And at the time, this needs a little bit of clarification, because at the time my YouTube name was Scary Sane. So he wrote to Nick, "Stay scary, know what I'm saying?" And then he gave me a winky face. And then he signed his name down there, Edward Lorne. Not only does this book sound interesting as hell, but it's a book that my friend wrote, and I haven't read a single book that he's written. So I really want to see what he has, because I keep asking him for writing advice, not knowing how good of a writer he actually is. Now, that's not saying anything bad about him. He's probably an amazing writer. I just don't know yet. I want to check him out and see what he's got. And I know he's going to be amazing. I just know he's going to be amazing. You know, he writes, I saw him write on a live stream the other day, and I thought he's a really good writer. So, I didn't read what Bad Brains is about, but I've talked so much about Bad Brains that you probably get the gist what it's about. So let me just tell you what The Sound of Broken Ribs is about. Let's read the synopsis. Lee Duncan has it all. The ideal life, the perfect career, a loving husband. What more could someone ask for? It is with this in mind that Lee takes her morning run, oblivious to everything ahead. I almost said obvious. My bad. Glenda Walsh has lost it all. Her home, her husband, her mind. She thought she knew Dan, but one phone call changed all that. Now everything she's known to be true is a lie. It is with this in mind that she goes looking for something or someone to destroy. When the lives of two strangers intersect, someone or something will be born of the connection. For one of these two souls, the truth of the world will shift and morph into something powerful and dangerous, a darkness of the mind, a terror insanities, and something will peek through the darkness beckoned by the sound of broken ribs. Damn. That is a synopsis, and that is a cover, by the way. Look at that dope-ass cover. And that's actually a painting that Edward Lorne did in the background there. He just threw ribs on top of that picture that he painted, and it just looks great. And part of me wants to read this because it's my friend's book. The other part of me wants to read it because it just sounds so damn good, you know? I also have Bay's End by Edward Lorne, which is in my coming of age TBR. But this one is going to be my first Edward Lorne book because this is the first one I got by him, and it's important to me because he signed it to me, and it was during a really rough time of my life, and his videos really helped me out. So and I wouldn't be making videos if it wasn't for him in the first place. So yeah, but despite being an inspiration to me, I want to know what his writing is like because I've never actually read anything. I ask for all this writing advice, but I don't even know if he's a good writer. Which I know it's stupid to say this, but I already know going into this that it's gonna be great. You know, I don't know if I can be disappointed by his writing, but I'm just so excited to read this. And there's part 1. In fact, let me find a bookmark somewhere, and I will bookmark this as the next book I will probably read. I don't have a bookmarker at the moment, but I will read this book soon. Hey guys, sorry about that. So I'm back. So we talked about Edward Lorne's The Sound of Broken Ribs, and we talked about Kathy Koja's Bad Brains. Those are 2 books I really want to read very, very soon. Let's go to the number. There's no order in this, but let's go to the next one, and that is In the Scrape by James Newman and Mark Steensland. I've read this to you guys about a dozen times, and I've recorded this twice now. So I don't feel like, I do not feel like reading this again, but basically it's about these boys who tie up their dad to a chair, and they get in a mess with a bully, and they try to run away. And then there's people trying to find them. So yeah, that's what that book's about. And that's why I want to read it, because for one, it has a badass cover. For two, it's only like 94 pages long, so it should be a breeze. But it's a book that will get me back into the coming of age spirit, and maybe I'll finish my own novel that's a coming of age story. We'll see. Alright. Next, we have Neverland by Douglas Clegg. I think that's how you say his name. Now, the reason why I want to read this is that I hear great things about it. Like, people say that this is a great coming of age story. And I'll read the back for you guys. High on a bluff looking out on the ocean is an ancient shack, the secret place called Neverland. Here in Gull Island, a misbegotten spit of Georgia coast, young Bayou Jackson joins his cousin Sumter in strange, sinister games, rituals that grow into a sickening explosion of pure evil. Soon, a tide of blood fury will rise, swamping the island in a raging, all-engulfing sea of merciless terror. So that is Neverland, and it's written in the first person, which, by the way, I love books written in the first person. There's not enough of them. And I think I like first-person narratives so much because I really get a feeling of what the narrator's thinking. The omnipresent narrator is good, but I like the whole, seeing it from one point of view through the whole book. And yeah, why I want to read this? Well, it's my first Douglas Clegg book, to be honest. I've never read Douglas Clegg before. I have a few of his books though, and if this one catches fire with me, then I will definitely read more. It's 373 pages long, which is a great number, by the way. My favorite number is 73, so 373 is an awesome number in my eyes. But can't wait to read this one. It will get me, once I'm back into my coming of age TBR, I will definitely read this one. It's at the top, right behind In the Scrape. But yeah, it's definitely a book I need to read soon. It's not in front of any of the other books because the other books, like Bad Brains and The Sound of Broken Ribs, are going to be stuff that I read before I get back to my coming of age TBR. But In the Scrape will get me back into it, and then this book will get me back into the bigger coming of age novels. And I can't wait for this one because it just sounds really cool. It kind of gives me that Lovecraftian feel, that there's a shack with an omnipresent power or whatever you want to call it. Not omnipresent. Oh, I can't think today, guys. Just this mystical power that engulfs the town. So it just sounds really good to me, and I want to read it. And I have to stop this video because I just realized I do not have the next book, so be right back. Whew. Alright guys, I am back with the last book on this list, but it's in no order. It kind of seemed like it was in order before, but to be honest with you, there is no order, because this book is going to be probably read before Neverland and In the Scrape, so I don't know why I put it so late on the list, probably because I couldn't find it, but I found it. And that is Father's Little Helper by Roland Kelly. And I've already read a big chunk of the book. It's a good book so far. I just fell out of season, so I just didn't feel like finishing it. It's a good book. It's just, it was like in the season type of read. But I'm gonna jump back into it regardless. And it's a book that I want to finish probably right after Bad Brains. Because I got a bunch of these big chunk books where I've started them and then stopped, and it's like I've read a lot this year, but it doesn't show because I keep stopping books at like near the halfway mark. Like this one's like 30% done, and then Bad Brains is 56% done. So, and then Cujo is a book that I started a long time ago and never really got to finishing. So I even might throw that one on this list as a runner-up, But this is the 5th book. Let me read the back for you guys. Black Christmas. The citizens of Cedar Bluff, Tennessee have never recovered from the Christmas massacre of 1978. That tragic day when Richard McFarland, armed with a shotgun, abandoned his wife and son and selected a local church as the stage of a bloody murderous rampage. McFarland paid for his crimes in the electric chair, yet not even death will stop him from finishing what he started. Bloody Legacy. After 14 years, Sonny's? I'm gonna call him Sonny. I know it's Sony, but I want to say Sonny. Sony's father is back. He'd been away for so long that Sony hardly remembered him. But Richard McFarland remembered his only son, and now he will teach him how to kill. Sonny, I'm just gonna call him Sonny, is about to become a deadly force that will be unleashed on the unsuspecting citizens of Cedar Bluff. For when the time is right, he will return with a small, quiet town, bringing death and destruction on an even more terrifying Christmas day. So yeah, this book is my second Ronald Kelly book. Well, actually, it's my third Ronald Kelly book if you collect the collection that I read by him. I read the Christmas collection, and or not Christmas, Halloween collection, Mr. Glowbones and Other Tales, which was great. It has two of my favorite short stories of all time in that book, which I will talk about one day. But for now, we were talking about Father's Little Helper, and I got to a point where it was getting good. I had to put it down because the snow was melting, and I just wasn't in that Christmas mood. But I'm picking it back up and finishing it because, like I said, I have all these books where a big chunk of them are read. Like Bite has like 270 pages read from it. What's this book called? Abomination has like 100 pages read. So like I started a bunch of books and didn't finish them, and I just feel like finishing some of these books that I started. So that's why this one and Bad Brains are definitely on this list. This is because I started them, but I never got around to finishing them. So, those two books are gonna read relatively soon. And then you got The Sound of Broken Ribs and The Scrape and Neverland that I want to read. But these two books right here, turn it the right way. These two books right here are books that I really want to finish very, very soon. Relatively soon. And they're really good books, don't get me wrong. Both of these authors are great. Go find their stuff. Like, literally, this stuff is great. This is great reading material, especially if they're quarantined. If you can find a Kathy Koja or Ronald Kelly book, go ahead. They're amazing writers. They're definitely two authors that inspired me to write. And I've been finding more and more authors that just inspire me to write more and more and more. Like Graham Masterton, for starters, like his first-person narrative in Jinn, which I have no idea where that book is right now. That inspired me to write more first-person narrative stories because the way he writes it is just so great. And it's like writing first-person narrative stories for so long and not having it appreciated, you know? And then finding work that is written in the first person that is appreciated is just a relieving feeling because, like, you can see that people do appreciate first written narratives. Like The Manitou's written in first person. Then you have the book I'm reading now, The Jinn, which is written in first person. And then you got Neverland, which is written in first person. So you just got a lot of stories that are written in first person, like the Traveling Vampire Show is written in first person, which is my second favorite book of all time and second favorite coming of age story of all time. I know those are two different lists, but like Fear in the Traveling Vampire Show, Fear by Ronald Kelly and the Traveling Vampire Show by Richard Lehman, those two are like stapled, like permanently the top of the list for my favorites of all time. Then you have like the Hellbound Heart being up there. You have The Manitou by Graham Masterton being up there. I I look back at my review and I didn't give it that great of a review, and I feel bad. I almost feel like deleting that video and redoing it from memory, but I did it in the moment, so the story, The Manitou, really grew on me. So I think I gave it a low rating because I was being a snob at the time, but I liked The Manitou a lot. It's one of my favorite books of all time. It's definitely in the top 5. I can't think of top 5 right at the moment. Okay, let me do it right. Actually, I'll save it for another video. I already gave you like the top 3, but I'll come out with a top 5 favorite books right now, as of now. And yeah, that will be the next thing I record. But yeah, these are books that I definitely want to pick up and read. In the Scrape is the one right here. Then you got Sound of Broken Ribs, Neverland, Father's Little Helper, and Bad Brains. So I hope you guys enjoyed this short little list. It wasn't really that short because I did it so many times, but if you feel me, you feel me. Yeah, these are 5 books that I want to read by the end of the year. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys have a spooky night, and I'll catch you in the next video. Be safe, guys. Bye, guys.
Now I am become death, the destroyer